Chalo.
When should we starting, man? It's time to rock and roll. Hello and welcome to the biggest preview of them all. It's India, it's Pakistan, it's the biggest rivalry in international cricket. It's being played at Ahmedabad in front of 110, people. What a moment, Varun. How are you feeling on the 14th of October?
I'm pumped, man. It's like, I don't know, the World Cup has kicked off, but this is the game everyone has been waiting for. I think whether it's the players, the fans in the stadium, the fans outside the stadium, the broadcasters, the ad companies, everyone just laps up an India-Pakistan game. 110,000 people in the stadium. Wouldn't be surprised if it's like a billion people watching it across the globe. Man, this is something else.
Yeah, and I hope I did my best Ravi Shastri impression about it's coming up to toss time because that is 10 minutes away. Varun, we are here to preview India Pakistan. Okay. Where do we start, man? Like Shubman Gill, is he back?
Yeah,
Or is he 99%
Shubers.
fit or is he 99% match fit? Will he play? What do you think?
I mean, I'm hoping he plays because he's the best Indian opener we have right now. Let me say that, and I know it's going to be very controversial, but he is the best Indian opener we have. So I hope he's back. But DJ, you and I both know that if he's not 100% fit, it's not worth uh, risking him if something goes wrong, right? Because you're in match three out of match nine, potentially match 11 if India reaches the finals. You do not want to risk him. Like just quickly, yesterday, Kane Williamson played, and he did superb. Now, I don't think the reason he went off the field was connected to the reason he's been out for the last 9 months. Apparently, got hit on the hand, but with the ball. But my point is, yeah, you don't want to rush somebody back.
No, but Varun, he looked like he was struggling as well. To be
Yeah,
honest, with his knee, he really looked like he was struggling. He got hit on his hand eventually, but before that as well, there were a couple of times he tried to turn for two and looked like he wasn't in great shape. So that's a
and
very good point. That it's a long tournament, right? And India already won two games without Gill. So
And I
I
mean,
don't know
he's
whether
come
you'd
into
risk
bat
him.
after months and months, and he's hit runs in like the highest scorer of the team or something, right? So yeah, just have to be careful with Gill. Like, let's not get overexcited, let's not get carried away. But it'll be fantastic if he plays. Remember, this is kind of his home ground for the last couple of years with the Gujarat Titans. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and he loves Ahmedabad, right? He's got a test match ton there. He's got a T20 ton there. He's got ODI runs. He's the highest ODI scorer of the year. So it's kind of odd that we're not really feeling his absence as much as we would have expected, right? Even though we were two for three, the conversation was like, why are we two for three? Why? What if Shubman Gill was here? He would have saved us from being two for three. But yeah, insane, right? So we'll wait and watch. Apparently, the comments are telling us that he is on the field at the moment. So Ramkumar Iyengar has come in and told us that Shuman Gill is on the field. Of course, Sky Sports still haven't started their pre-match coverage, but there's a concert happening as well. Arijit
yeah,
Singh.
and I believe that is only for people inside the stadium.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not being telecast. I wonder why. Like, there was no opening ceremony this year. There was talk about a concert for this game, and now they've said they're not televising it. Just something seems odd.
Okay, okay. Maybe he'll sing Pasuri, and that's the India Pakistan. I guess that unites fans from both sides. But let's talk about the cricket, Varun. Like, of course, the build-up is the build-up, and there's all the drama around it, and there's all the politics and all the extreme views on either side. But in pure cricketing terms, where do you see these two teams stack up?
So I think let's just talk Pakistan first. I think the bowling needs to step up a little bit. And I think that's where it's going to be a challenge for them, right? Like we said this before, if Shaheen doesn't take wickets, if Shadab's momentum is off, suddenly the team looks average. But suppose Shaheen and Haris Rauf are looking in form, and then Shadab to follow, suddenly that team looks dangerous, right? So that's one. The second for Pakistan, I'd say Babar Azam is due, and he's good. And what I'm reading is that this is a batting pitch, so you need to be careful. You can't ride that guy out, or off rather. You have to be careful because these guys step up to the big occasion. So for me, those are the two things with Pakistan. For India, I would say, yeah, man, I really want to see kind of Rohit s- continue where he left off. I don't want to see him getting out to an in swinger again. I'll be curious to see if Iyer continues, and there's theoretically no reason why he shouldn't. And then last is just Siraj's form and momentum, man. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth playing Shami, but just DJ, the coverage on my side has started, and I've just seen Sky in the training clothes while Rohit is walking out to the toss. So that's a good indication that Sky is probably not in the 11.
No, maybe not. But toss. Let's talk about toss, and we'll come to the Indian team after that. Um, what would you do if you win the toss on this batting track in a pressure game? Bat
Man,
first,
I would bat first
chase.
in a pressure. If I would bat first in a pressure game, I think if I look back to a lot of the instances that we have not done well, it's been chasing. And so, at least as an Indian fan, I would say win the toss and bat first. Score score so many runs that it's basically, even if they get off to a good start, it's going to be a challenge for them. That would be my view. As a fan watching the game, I'd like to watch an Indian chase, but that's where I'm conflicted. What
Even with
about
the
you?
view, even with the dew coming down, because I think this is a chasing ground, isn't it? If I'm not wrong, you win more often while chasing. The last big game that was here was the IPL final, and Jaddu hit the
Yeah,
10 runs of the last two balls to win it, which
yeah. I hear you, man. I think the biggest man on the ground is pressure, though, right? So you just got to weigh
yeah.
up the due versus the pressure.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that actually, because obviously there are no Pakistan. So the last India Pakistan game was the games in the Asia Cup. So
Asia Cup, yeah.
you would have seen fans from both sides. But let's be honest, there's going to be hardly any green shirts today. There's going to be 110, 120, 130, whatever the number is, thousand Indian fans screaming. How's the Pakistan team going to deal with that? Is it going to motivate them? Do you think, or are they like immune to it, or is it going to put more pressure on the Indian team having their home crowd basically just like making noise for
I
them?
I mean, I think so Pakistan doesn't get to play here very often. I think that's one kind of downside. But so I don't know how many of these guys have actually played in India, because 2011 or 2016 may have been the last time they played. Um, But I think what's going to happen is, man, if they have one or two successes, right, and they see that crowd go quiet, that'll spur them on. And that typically is what happens in these big grounds. So, if Pakistan, the only way to get over this crowd, this crowd support is to actually kind of create inroads into that Indian lineup and then see some panic from the Indian
Okay.
fans, because
Okay.
that's the only way to overcome.
No, that's a fair point because I think again we're showing our age. 1999, Shoaib Akhtar bowling to Rahul Dravid, bowls him in a test match. There's a test match story where he gets bowled. And of course, then Sachin Tendulkar walks in, and the entire crowd, Eden Gardens, like goes ballistic, and you can't hear yourself think. And then Akhtar bowls him first ball, middle stump. And there's pin drop silence, so much so that you can hear Shoaib Akhtar
Yeah,
shouting at
yeah,
the ground. And that is my memory from that game. Like, of course,
yes,
it was famous for other things as well. But I think that's what you're saying. If you can shush the crowd early with a
yes.
Shaheen going through Rohit or something like that, that I think is Pakistan's best chance to get past that crowd support, maybe. Indian fans, I think uh, we're pretty confident, though, of recovering, even if now we're 2 for 3 after that Australia game. But let's
It
come
was
to the India
funny
team.
in
Who
that.
are you
It was,
picking? Because the toss is in a few minutes. I want to check your 11, Varun. Are you going with
I
the
mean,
same
I would
11 that
say
played in
from
Delhi, or are you going with if Gill is fit? What happens? Let's go through that quickly.
No, no. If Gill is fit, Gill comes in, and again for me, Shami comes in. Those are my two changes that I would make.
And for
What
whom? For
about?
Shardul, you're going to switch Shami for Shardul.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, Ashwin for Shardul, Gill for Kishan, and Shami for Siraj. Those are the three.
So
Wow,
Ayer
that's quite
plays. Ayer plays for you.
higher place. Yeah, 100%.
Interesting. So my 11 would be different. If Gill is fit, then Gill would slot in at the top, but I would move Kishan down and I would get him to play instead of the Iyer spot. I would move Rahul back up to number 4. I would play Ashwin. So it's interesting that both of us would like to play Ashwin in this game because I think it's a pressure game.
Yeah,
And your big players can handle that pressure. There's no better example of that than Ashwin leaving that ball from Nawaz in the T20
yeah.
World Cup that wide. No more pressure
Cool,
than that.
cool, calm, composed. Let it go for wide. I mean, can you imagine if like, yeah, I can't even think what happened if it wasn't a wide or something.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I would like Ashwin. It's a biggish ground. You should have a big outfield where you can get some outfield catches, perhaps. So I think that is not a bad shout. I don't know what the toss is
So
saying.
Ravi Bhai has just come on TV. The captains are there. He's like waving his hands up and down. You can see about 50-60% of the crowd in, and I am going to kind of try and give you live coverage as the toss happens. So Rohit has spun the coin, and Rohit has won the toss. Now let's see what happens.
He's going to chase. He has to chase. He's going to chase. Tell me he's going to chase.
Now, because of the crowd, I couldn't hear whether he's batting or bowling. So that's this is a bit of a fail, but I'm sure most of you watching this are also watching. So if you know what's
India
happened,
won
please
in
tell
bowling. India won in bowling. India won in
bowling.
bowling.
Okay.
I had it had to be right. You have to back yourself to chase the runs at Ahmedabad. And now I
Yeah,
want to know what the 11 is. Let's find out what the 11 is.
yeah. No, I don't
This is so
disagree, but
exciting doing this live.
I also, but I hope you see my point of view, which is we struggle while chasing
Hmm.
in bigger pressure games.
Yeah, interesting question from Sumit Kumar. Would you guys have preferred Sky over a year for this one? I don't know what the 11 is. Uh, if Gill is fit, actually, Iyer doesn't play in my book. Kishan plays, particularly since Kishan got the 80 odd against Pakistan in the Asia Cup, where we were struggling as well. Again, we're 60 for 4 or something in that game. So, um, and plus the left handedness, right? You've got Shadab and you've got
Yeah.
Nawaz, both spinning into the left hander. It's a
And
no
I think
brainer,
that
really, for me, that one.
you've been consistent before the World Cup also. That's been your kind of 11 even from before.
Yeah. But is Ashwin playing? I would love to see Ashwin playing.
I
This
can't
is
tell, man. It's like I can't
But
tell yet.
that's such a it's such a great story as well, right? Like Ravi Chandran Ashwin, not even in the 15, Akshar gets injured, comes in, plays the first game, bowls pretty well, bowls that carom ball from hell to Steve Smith. Didn't get a wicket, but that would have gone viral if he'd bowled him with that ball. Instead, he left it to Jadeja to do the honors. Are you worried about Jadeja's form at all? The bat?
I just feel he's not got enough time, man. That's the only thing, and
Mm,
that's what my worry in these long tournaments is. If Jadeja reaches game 7 or game 8 without enough time, you're doing like it's a disservice. So I'm hoping that he actually gets promoted up the order a little bit. So DJ,
mm.
as I'm reading this, watching it, I'm very distracted as you can tell, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to figure this out
As you
for you.
should be. As you should.
Kishan Gill is back in place
Oh.
of Kishan. And he says it's unfortunate for Kishan to miss out. Feel for him. He
Oh.
stepped up when we needed him. Now that line for me is more than just today's game, but
Mm.
I always knew or thought that was coming. Um
So we've
yeah.
lost another left-hander then.
Yep.
With two bowlers from Pakistan that spin it into the left-hander, man. That's You must really back Iyer's game against spin. I'm guessing it's Iyer, it's not Sky that's playing.
Yeah, I think so. And that's based on what I saw the visuals. But I mean, Iyer can play spin, man. He can play it
Yeah,
well. So
I mean that's a bit of an understatement, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So he can. So the anyway, let's see, man. Let's see. So now the exciting thing for us as fans is that the second half of the game is going to be the India chase.
Yeah.
It's I mean, DJ, you and I have both got people coming over.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's
fun.
gonna be chaos.
The
It's gonna
second
be
session,
chaos.
like I was half thinking if, like, I don't know what to do if my daughter wakes up and people are screaming, but I told my wife that today is zero baby duty for me. Like, today I am off the hook for 8.5 hours straight.
Yeah, similarly, like I've got people coming over and my wife is leaving the house. She's like, I'm not hanging out here. This is too much. It's too
Yeah,
much.
but
But Interesting. So we are going with basically a completely right-handed middle order other than Jadeja. So are we going to float
Yeah.
Jadeja up to try and break that up a little bit? Because
So
it's so
I think they
samey. Why are
might,
we
and
doing
DJ,
this?
just quick update, they've gone with Siraj and Shardul. So only one change. Um, so
Okay.
that's what it is.
So no Ash.
It No Ash, and I think Babar Azam has said it's the same team. So there you have it. The teams are out, the toss is out. India is going to chase. I think it looks like a decent batting wicket, and yeah, the crowd is going to fill in soon, man. DJ.
So we've gone. Yeah, it will be like we've. So we've gone. I'm just trying to get my head around it. We've the only change we've made is Gill instead of Kishan at the top from the Delhi game.
Yeah, but I feel like you seem very surprised, but it's pretty obvious to most of us. Like I,
I, hmm, I
you,
just feel
Kishan
like
is
yeah.
clearly your floater now. He's your backup.
Hmm,
He is
for
not
everything.
enough in the middle order. He is okay as an opener. I have to say he's okay. I don't think he's good.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't think he's that trustworthy with
Hmm.
big games. And I like the guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that I feel like the biggest shock is that Sky is not even in the picture
Hmm.
versus Kishan. This left right problem we've had for a while. Akshar Patel was the answer. He got
Hmm.
injured.
Hmm.
Jaddu, man, the reality is with Pandya's game changing, um, and now you've got essentially too many people who are masters of singles and doubles and bound fours. Jadeja, yeah, if you push him up the order, who's going to hit the sixes at the end? So it's not an easy one, but I think, yeah, I think I agree on the left-handed part, but I think let's not overthink it.
Let's hope not. Let's hope we don't have to overthink it at the end of this game because
But
it
Kishan is
seems
not good
like
enough for us to say he's the solution. It's just that. Anyway, this is not a debate about Kishan, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the toss up would have been between Ayer and Kishan, and fine. It's yeah. I just feel a bit. I think been a bit hard done by, given that he scored runs against this precise opposition in a pressure game where Ayer actually failed, if you remember, because he went off like a rocket and hit the ball to mid wicket for like 14 runs or whatever. So anyway, let's hope it all works out, man. Like I'm now a bit. I would have liked to see Ashwin in that 11 just because of the variety that the off spinner would bring. Plus, they've
Yeah,
got
that I agree
left-handers.
with.
They've got so many left-handers. Sorry, the Pakistan team. We should talk about them. How many lefties have they got in that team?
Uh, Let me just check, man. Actually, what Abdullah Shafiq, Imamul Haq,
Yeah, that's two
and
straight up.
Saud and Iftikhar. I guess those are the.
That's four lefties, man, out of the
Are they
top
all
what
four
six?
lefties? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. So I mean,
Hmm.
that would have been my. You're basically backing Shardul to take more wickets and score more runs than Ashwin. I'm not sure I would do those in most circumstances.
Yeah, I don't. Even I don't agree with that decision at all. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Anyway, but I'm the Ash fan on the show, so let's see. Anyway, predictions: top scorers, top wicket takers. I've already made mine on the on Instagram, so guys, go and check out a reel where I make my predictions. I've gone with King Kohli. It's his favorite opposition, and now he's even chasing, and he's in form. He's got 250s. He loves it. It's the big stage. He loves it. Like even where we've been blown away by, other than maybe the Champions Trophy 2017 final, even when the top orders otherwise been blown away by Shaheen, he still scored a 50 in that game in the
Yeah.
21 World Cup T20. So I'm going with him, and I'm going with Kulu.
So those are the two guys I would have said, but I think let me make it a little bit interesting. I'm going to say
Shardul and Ayer.
Shardul and Shardul, highest runs and highest wickets.
Greatest
Shardul and
Surrey
most
and Botham.
catches. No, I mean, I
Uh,
would have said the same, man. I don't think I would have made a different prediction. I would have said Kohli and Kuldeep. The
okay.
K's.
Right. Okay. Bumrah. You don't like Bumrah for the top wicket taker?
I do like him, but I think they'll be a little more cautious at the top, which is why I think they'll like. watch
Can't play him
Bumrah more
out.
carefully,
Yeah.
and the wickets thing might be a little bit of problem. But that's where I want Siraj to come in, right? If you're going to be watchful
It's
on Bumrah,
bro, it's the biryani battle. Did you hear the show? You obviously don't listen to the podcast. But it's the
man,
biryani
I
battle.
haven't heard it. It's like happening often because of the World Cup, but the biryani
Yeah,
battle, that's
tw-
interesting.
twice a week. So why is it the biryani battle? Apparently, the Pakistani players have said that Karachi biryani is
Yeah,
better than Hyderabadi biryani.
and
And
I've
of
seen
course,
even
Mia
even
Bhai is gonna. Kya Mia? It's gonna be great.
yeah, I've even seen Wasim Akram talk about the Karachi biryani and stuff. So not surprising there. But DJ, I am going to have to
You
now
need
go
to
and change my
change
team.
your fantasy team.
Yeah, because now all the tips and tricks have been laid out. Now I have to go and think about what to do with my fantasy.
Okay. Okay, bye. Enjoy. Best of luck.
All the best, man. We'll be messaging throughout, guys. Just kind of tweet to us, message us as the game goes on. All the best to the Indian fans, and actually, best of luck to Pakistan as well.
A little bit less, but
All the best.
okay. All the best.